All right, 727. When you go to a hospital, you expect the best doctors and the cleanest environment to ensure a speedy recovery, right? But what happens if you experience hospital negligence? The consequences can be dire, ranging from infection to even death. Here to explain your rights when you or your loved one is staying in a hospital is Stephen Hammer from the Schlesinger Law Firm. Stephen, good morning.
Good morning to you.
All right, Stephen, so let's specifically talk about the Broward General case, in which right now we know about 1,850 people may have been exposed to HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C. Now, we know some people have tested positive at this point. We don't know exactly how many. So, Stephen, let's talk about the legal options for the victims. Individual lawsuit?
Unfortunately, for each of these victims, it's really not an issue because the Broward General Hospital is a sovereign hospital. They basically have immunity from any kind of prosecution of a personal injury case, medical malpractice case.
Stephen, I know the viewers at home, along with myself, are just saying, did he just say there aren't many options? I mean, what?
It's unfortunately in a situation where it's a county-run hospital like this, Broward General is immune from any kind of suit, essentially, because there's sovereign immunity, there's a $100,000 cap. In order to bring a case, it costs way more than $100,000 to bring a case like this.
What about a class action lawsuit then? If people were exposed to HIV,
sure,
hepatitis B, hepatitis C, I mean, they could die and they can't do anything about it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's not necessarily can't do anything about it.
Okay, so what can they do?
Well, what the most important thing to do is to contact a lawyer right away.
Okay.
Because there are certain rights that can be protected by a lawyer. And because of that, we've set up a website, browardpatients.com. To give the patients some information about what their rights are, what they should be doing in a situation like this. There are options, however, they are somewhat limited. That's the scary thing about this whole situation. It's very frightening.
A scary situation indeed. Okay, let's talk about Keelan. She is the nurse that has admitted to reusing some of this equipment. Such a heartbreaking situation, really. What do you suppose her lawyers are telling her at this point?
Hopefully, I mean, if her lawyers are doing the right job, they're telling her to be quiet because she's probably facing criminal prosecution. The fact that she would do such a thing, it goes against any concept of what the medical profession is all about. And the reasons why she did it, who knows?
Right.
I mean, it might have been a situation where she was concerned about budget cuts at the hospital, and so she thought, if I do this, I could be saving money. Who knows? I mean, what goes through a person's mind that does such a thing, I have no idea.
Stephen, I read this morning that officials are saying it's unknown at this point if the victims that were tested positive, maybe it was because of Keelan or maybe it was because of something else. But if I'm one of those victims, I'm going to be like, who cares? I was exposed.
Right.
This is a situation I need to be taken care of financially.
Well, the scary thing is this is a situation where these patients went in for a test to check on their health. They went in for a stress test.
Right.
So here they are, they're taking care of themselves. They're doing the right thing. They go in for a stress test, and now all of a sudden they're faced with the potential of being infected with this deadly disease. And that's a scary thing. And now what do? Well, now the hospital, of course, is saying, oh, well, we don't know necessarily if we're the ones that did it. That's absurd. And that kind of approach to take is absolutely absurd. And, you know, of course, the hospital is going to try to protect themselves.
Right.
And, you know, but the oversight here is just ridiculous. For this to happen in a hospital, any hospital, whether it's a public hospital or a private hospital, there's a total lack of supervision, a total lack of oversight, and it's not just the nurse who's at fault, it's the entire administration, because there has to be some checks and balances. This has been going on for 5 years. This isn't something that happened, a one-time event. Over 8,000 patients. That's crazy.
This is a crazy situation, and Stephen, I appreciate you saying, you know, contact your lawyer. You've got to see your legal options and figure it out. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate it. For more on the Schlesinger Law Offices, by the way, and to see other Know Your Rights segments, it's very easy to find. Just visit our website at southflorida.com.